When I was 16, I started my first internship. And today, after 10 internships, I produced 3 radio shows for WABC, which is the most listened to talk radio station in the country, for Geraldo Rivera, Kiernan and Rita Cosby, and Joan Hamburg. This path wasn't easy. It required me being willing to give up the luxuries of being able to act my age through working many long-hour days and learning the concept that quality work and quality hours is the best recipe for success. But what I learned the most over the past 8 years of being in the workforce and wearing my pantsuits is that we are the only ones who allow boundaries to exist. So I'm here today to discuss World Imagine, what if? What if there was a world where there were no boundaries? There are so many things in life we can't control, but I believe there are 2 types of boundaries we can work on to rid ourselves from and become the best versions of ourselves. The first are boundaries we allow others to inflict on us, and the second are boundaries we inflict on ourselves. Let me address the first. There will always be people in life who will doubt you, underestimate you, question your intelligence. Take a second and think of the last time you allowed someone to stop you from moving forward because they thought you weren't capable enough. Now, take a deep breath and say, I am never going to allow others to stop me from achieving my goal again. I grew up always allowing people to place boundaries on me. I wasn't the smartest, prettiest, or most popular kid in high school, or so I allowed others to place that notion on me. I was made fun of every day, both verbally and sometimes even physically, for 10 years, constantly questioning whether being me was ever good enough. But I never allowed it to stop me from having ambitions or goals. So no matter whatever negative or nasty thing people say to you or do to you, never take it to heart or allow it to consume your very being. I know it can be hard sometimes. Believe me, I've been there. But realize there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It took me saying to myself, I'm tired of crying every day because of other people's negativity, and took the initiative to start getting straight A's in school and join 3 sports teams. Because what I learned was the only person who can best help you is yourself. I find that those who have had moments like this tend to fuel it to drive them to do better and prove the critics wrong. I know I have done that. And now I strive to do better, not to prove others wrong, but to better myself. I know and believe you can achieve the same. My parents always told me when I was growing up that I can do anything I want to do in life as long as I worked for it, to never settle, and to always think big. So needless to say, I had the smallest ambitions possible, like wanting to be the first female president of the United States or the next Secretary of State. But I know these goals may seem grand. However, in order to do anything worthwhile in life, you must think big. The boundary of overreaching is a falsehood, I believe, because you can never dream far enough. My parents also believed I needed a licensed degree to guarantee employment when I graduated from college. So I honed in on becoming an accounting major, which I very quickly realized wasn't for me. I wanted to be a political science major. However, when I told that to one of my parents, their response was, what is this, a basket weaving degree? But I love people and interacting with them, so I wanted to prove to them that I can make a viable career in this field. As a result, the summer of my junior year, I started interning for the New York City Council and the Public Advocate's Office. And then a couple more years happened, and I started working for other numerous politicians like Congressman Anthony Weiner, Senator Hillary Clinton, and others for them to start believing me when I said I wanted to be in politics. So realize those who you love and who love you in return place boundaries on you because they feel they know what is best for you and your career, with only the best of intentions. But I firmly believe if you love what you do, you can do anything you can imagine, or at least get very close to it. So take a moment and think. Think about what would you be willing to get up at 5 a.m. every day to do? something that you're willing to make sacrifices for, and are so excited to do it, you can barely contain yourself, and go for that. I know each and every one of you has a passion for something, so find it inside yourself and pursue it. This brings me to my second point on boundaries. Don't place boundaries on yourself. I remember when I was in high school, I went to Rome. And what I loved most about Rome was walking these little streets. You might feel, and walking these little streets to end in an amazing piazza. You might feel lost along the way. But when you hit that bright open space, the journey and experience all make sense. I strive to live my life that way. You see, we all go on this journey called life, and as long as you know you're willing to work hard at whatever your end goal is, you'll somehow get there. You might feel lost, frustrated, anxious as you walk down these little streets, but when you land that unexpected job or that promotion, when you finally hit this amazing piazza, the journey and experience all seem clear. Don't over-strategize about everything you do in life. If you asked me 4 years ago if I was going to be in radio, I would think you were completely crazy. But somehow, my life has landed me where I am today because I learned to be open-minded enough to seeking new opportunities and seeing the big picture. So realize your goals may change along the way, and that's okay. Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter both didn't go the traditional route to become president, so neither do I, and neither do you need to go down any conventional path to get to wherever you want to be. What I would actually ask you to do is not think about what your dream job is, but what is your goal in life and focus on it, because it will create a common thread in everything you do. For me, my goal in life is to help as many people as I can, even if it's just one person's life in a significant way. Growing up, I helped my mother produce comedy shows in hospitals and homeless shelters, giving people the best type of medicine, laughter. And now I help people in a different capacity by giving them useful information every day by which they can formulate their own opinions. By figuring out what your big picture is, your philosophical goal, it'll give you this breathing room to get to wherever you want to go in life any way you want. Finally, I'm going to end on this. When I was in high school, the superlative I received was most cooperative, which clearly wasn't the one I wanted. I thought I'd get something cooler like most athletic or something more prestigious like most likely to succeed. But my best friend told me he thought I should have received most unique, which for me was even worse. I grew up always trying to fit in, but was never successful at it. But looking back at it, he was probably the only person who ever truly understood me. I wasn't like everyone else. I was different, and I wish I trusted enough in myself back then to embrace that. So I ask you all to realize that being you is the best thing you can be, because what has allowed me to move ahead and achieve what I have achieved at my age was not conforming to other people's standards or standards I placed on myself. If you embrace who you are, you can stand out anywhere you want to, anywhere in life. So what's the takeaway from all of this? Figure out what you love. Be willing to put in your hours and hard work, and learn how to trust and embrace yourself. And the sky is just the beginning. There are no limits. There are no limits in life as long as you refuse to accept them. I hope the word boundary in this world imagined in your life ceases to exist now.